What's up, tubers? Tio here, Simplistic Fishing, back at you tonight for some more lake breakdowns. Hopefully, you've been with us for the last few videos where we've been breaking down Lake Travis. We've actually done 2 videos so far. This will be our third one. We're still on Google Earth. We're probably going to be on Google Earth for a while. As you know, this lake is pretty big, and we got lots of stuff to uncover. So stick around. Good stuff coming tonight. Episode 3. Let's go. Well, welcome back to the Lake Travis breakdown. This is our third video now for Lake Travis. Last time we stopped right down here. If I zoom in really quick, Captain Pete's something. I can't even remember the name of the marina, but it's right here. Let me zoom in here and I'll tell you what it is. That's the North Side Marina. That's not even the one that I wanted. So we must have went down a little bit further down here to Captain Pete's, which was right here on this little bend. I probably made you dizzy by now, but Captain Pete's Boathouse. So that's where we ended last time. Now, real quick on the categories, if you missed the first 2 segments, we've got this broken down by channels, covers and ledges, that's stairs, brush piles, all kinds of good stuff like that, ramps, rocks, ditches, and then other things that we're going to find, even as I'm going through this live breakdown with you guys. So I've already gone through this obviously a couple times and marked all the points, but anytime I do the live version, I always end up finding a few things that I wasn't expected. That's what you're seeing down here on the left-hand side. So let's go ahead and move this over and we're going to zoom this all in. And when we do that, we're actually going to move the date back once we get down here, and I'll show you guys what date we're going to use here in just a second. So right now, the date is January of 2022. I'm going to go ahead and move that down to 10 of 14 if I can get there, or 10 of 13. 13 or 14, I think they're the same image. They appear to be the same image, but that is when the lake was down at its most, when I can get the best image from Google Earth. So that's what we're going to be using, and then we'll use 2022 and 2017 to really try to look at it to see what it looks like now, or what it would look like if the lake was actually at full pool. So let's go ahead and start running down this. Now, of course, if you missed the first 2 videos, what we did is we started way back here at the dam, and we've been working our way up the side of this bank line and just maneuvering our way around and staying on this side of the bank line the entire time. So the northeast side of the bank line. And then, like I said, last time we ended right down here at Captain Pete's. And we're going to go ahead and start from there and keep moving our way up. Now, obviously, we've got a lot more videos to go, so we'll just continue this breakdown series until we get it completely done. Now, I do want to make one comment. I did say on the last video that the offshore hotspots we would go over with Navionics, really no point in doing that. The lake is down so far in this image that we can pretty much see all the good offshore stuff that I would be really attracted to. Obviously, there's probably some other ledges and things that you could point out, but we're probably not going to do the Navionics portion on this one, just because we found so much by using Google Earth, and the fact that the water went down so much, we could pretty much uncover some really pretty deep spots based on what we can see here. So let's go ahead and jump in. Let's get started. First thing that I notice here, right after we get down with Captain Pete's, obviously you've got a whole bunch of those little slabs, those boat ramps that we talked about. I don't know if they're boat ramps. They might even be like sidewalks. I can't even tell what they are. But anyways, if you look down here really closely, we've got those ledges that we just talked about on the last video, where the rock comes out and then finally it just drops off. Well, those lakes are right, or those docks are right there by the drop off. But you can see right here, we've got some really good rock right here and some really good rock in this area as well. So I would definitely put some focus in on wherever that ledge is, and especially on those 2 little points that are right there. Now, moving on down, just really the next thing here would be this little transition area of this major point, or not major, but this point that's here. So you can see it's definitely pretty steep down here. But once you get down far enough, you can actually see a pretty big transition that happens right here, right where I put that rock was. So you can see that it's totally different. It's a lot chunkier rock. It's a bigger area of rock. It's definitely an area that the fish are going to focus on. Plus, you got some sort of a little ditch here as well that's got some cover in it too that they can hang out down in the bottom of that. So let's just look real quick. Actually, we'll pull all these up, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the image back so you guys can see what this would look like today if you were out there fishing it today. So as we move over here, one thing you may want to look at right here, and I didn't mark it last time. In fact, I think we should go ahead and mark it right now because it looks really good, is this point right here. And so right where I'm going to put my marker, you'll notice there's 3 little dots. I don't know if those are stumps, if that's part of an old brush pile. I'm not sure what it is, but it's definitely something that we need to take a look at. So let's just label it point, and next time we'll know that it's there. All right, so then we're going to move up here inside of this little pocket. Not too much going on. Obviously, a lot of ramps. There's a ton of ramps right here in this pocket. There's some cover down here in this ditch as well. There's also, I don't know why, but that ramp's a different color. I thought it was something else. And then there's also these ledges again that I keep telling you about. So pay attention to your contour maps on this lake because there's ledges out here. There's one here that's pretty far back there. And then right in front of this dock, there's some really good rock. You can see the rock totally changes right here, and it's really heavy, really chunky. And I think that's going to be a really good spot to look at. So we've talked about just this little area right here. Let's pull it up to 2017. And I just want to show you what this is going to look like, because in 2017, all that stuff that we were looking at just a minute ago that was totally exposed, all of that is now offshore stuff. So this is an offshore spot. This is an offshore spot. We've also got spots over here in the middle where that offshore rock was. That really cool ledge that was in there, that rock ledge that looked like it was in the middle of this cove, is actually way out here. That point that looked really cool, that's way out here. So just some really cool stuff. Even if we go to 2022, and the lake is still down pretty far, but it's not down nearly as far as it was back in 2014. So a lot of this stuff is definitely still under the water. So let's go back to 2014 now. Now that you've seen it up and you kind of get a visual of what it would look like if you were to go out there today. Let's go back when the water was super, super low. Again, here's that point. Remember, it's just wild to see it all set up like this. But then now we're going to keep moving back, and let's just talk about what else we found here. So right here, these could be some pretty good stick-ups. If you've ever fished Texas lakes, you'll know that sometimes you can hit patches of these stick-ups that are out there, and it can just be an amazing, amazing day and an amazing place to fish. So you may want to check out just those stick-ups right in here. But also, if you look here, it looks like an old pig pen or something like that, some kind of a fence or something. There's a rock, basically a rock fence. It goes right here underneath this boat dock. It turns right here and it goes back this way. Almost looks like maybe that was an old pasture or something like that. I don't really know. I have no idea, but it looks very interesting, and those rocks look very interesting. Really sharp edges, really fine, really, 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 just really sharp. So anyways, take a look at those. Let's also look back here. If you look back here in this little gully that comes back here, you've got some really good cover back in here, and then you've got some really good rocks that's right in here. So you can see this spot being really good as well. And again, I know it's looking like, why in the world would you fish back there? But I'm telling you, when the water's up, this is going to look totally different. And I'll show it to you guys in a second. Now, also over here, there's a pretty decent little foundation that's right here. At least that's what it looks like. Those can be really good spots to fish as well. So you definitely want to check that out. And then, of course, you've got a ramp up here as well. And then we get around here across the main bend. So real quick, let's just pull this back to 2017. Let's look at what we were looking at there, that foundation. Pretty far out here, that rock. That ramp's actually exposed a little bit. That rock over there we were looking at a minute ago, same as the other ones, just definitely already under the water. So let's keep moving back to 2014. Let's go around this corner here, and let's see what else we can find up here, because we know we got a lot of juicy stuff to take a look at. So first off, we've got a ramp right there. Now that ramp, it goes pretty far out there, and there's not a lot on this bank line. I'd imagine this must be the deeper side, and this is the shallower side. So there's not a lot on this side, but definitely a pretty nice little ramp there. So when there's not a lot in the area and there's one hard thing that's there, that they'll typically relate to that. As we move a little bit further up, some really good rock around these 2 little points here. So you could check those out. That looks pretty good, especially when the rest of the bank line, like I said, pretty much doesn't have anything. You've got a little bit of a rock line that's right here. You can kind of see it. I maybe even should have marked it, but it's almost like a perfect line that goes right through here. It's almost like an old fence line. And it looks like it must turn right in here and then it comes out to right here. Now that, I mean, that has potential. You may want to check that out. I'm not sure, but I'm not going to mark it, but if you're watching this video, you'll know that, hey, go check that out. So it's going to be right past where we went past where the bend was. We're actually going to be, let's see if I can get you a pretty good coordinate. Actually, whatever this is, Waterford Marina. If you go to Waterford Marina and go south of there, south of that first little creek that's there, that's where it's going to be. It's going to be right in here. Now, it's going to look totally different today in 2022. You're not even going to be able to tell where it's at, but it's going to be somewhere up in here. I'd say go to that green dock, and somewhere outside of that green dock, you have to put on your side scan probably and just scan around. But my guess is you're going to be able to find it if you just do that scanning. And that could be a nice little honey hole. It's kind of hidden in there. Again, here's the image from 2013. You can see it a little bit better, but it's right here. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and mark that for you guys. So that way you can go take a look at it if you buy the card from Simplistic Fishing. So I'm just going to mark it here. So that way we have it. I don't know what it is, but I know it's rock, and I know it's a fence, and it's a straight line, and a lot of times those are just really good places to find some fish. You've also got a nice little creek channel in here as well. Kind of comes, I wouldn't even say creek channel, but just like a little ditch. Pretty decent. It's got some really good rock on the outside edge of it, though. There's a good rock pile here, really good rock right in here, so a decent little ledge almost going on right in here, and you got the same thing on the other point as well. So be worthy of taking a look at. When you look back in here, you've also got some more ledges. Definitely some type of a transition going on right in here. Notice how much different it is from right here to right here. So this little area right in here could be a really good area. Plus you've got what appears to be a little creek channel or some kind of a ditch that's maneuvering its way through here. And this is actually right on the swing of that. So right here on that swing, right where that ledge is, where I put ledge, I think that's going to be a primo spot for you guys to go look at. Now let's keep moving on. Now this is a really big creek channel swing here. So you know this whole area in here is going to have decent depth to it. So obviously there's a ton of rock there, but when I went through it, I didn't see any rock that really, any formations or anything that really stuck out to me. So nothing in particular that I can really mark for you guys there, but you know that anytime, again, you get on a big creek channel swing like that, those are primo areas. These are primo docks that are setting up right here on this swing for sure. And even the ones down here, those are going to be good docks to fish as well. So take your time, fish those docks. I think you'll be surprised at what you can find there. So let's move on up. We went around the bend. Now we're coming up this next bend, and we're going to go up here where this little creek is. But before we do that, I'll just show you this real quick. A decent little ramp that's coming out here. There's some potential maybe in here in some of these little points, especially with it being right around where that creek channel bend is. But up in here, you've got a pretty decent little creek channel that comes through here. So this is, you can tell it's an actual creek. It's called Cox Hollow. It comes down through here. It makes a pretty good turn right here. So right here on this turn, that's going to be a good area to fish right there. That dock could be primo too, because that dock is right on the creek channel, and that dock looks like it's fixed. It doesn't look like it moves very much, back and forth. So you definitely would take a look at that. And then if you're having success in here, maybe check out this little dish up in here and see if they're relating to that area. And then of course, when you come over here, when you're getting around these turns, this area right in here, very good area to take a look at. And the other side, right where that dock is, will be a really good area to take a look at as well. Now that dock may actually be way up here when the water's up, but I think that one back there should still stay there. Let's move that to 2022. That dock stayed there. That other dock moved back. So now you wouldn't know where that rock ledge was over here, but definitely right there where those two docks are. Very good looking docks. All right, let's go back and take us back to 2013. And let's keep moving on. So as we move up here, one thing that I noticed that I missed would be right here. There's a really good ledge right here. See how good that is with that really good shade? So I'm going to go ahead and mark that one for us as well. Other than that, I mean, just a pretty decent little ditch there, but nothing too crazy to mark. But I love that spot right there. That looks really good. All right, then moving on up, we're up here by Cody Park now. We get up here, a pretty decent ramp that's right there. Some pretty decent point that's right around that ramp as well, where you get the rock that's right in here. You know what's interesting about this lake is it all has this just it must have just a real thin layer of dirt on top, and then anywhere where that water's been, it's totally brought it over and it's exposed that rock. But if you can get right in that transition where it's going from like mud to rock, um, pretty much all areas of the lake, you're putting yourself in a more premium spot to be able to catch the fish. Then moving up here, we've also got some pretty good ledges, a real good ledge right here where this little ditch or this creek channel kind of bends right here, makes a real sharp bend. That one looks good as well. And if you're wondering why I didn't mark each and every single one of these, is because I'm limited to how many tracks I can put out here. So I had to kind of pick which ones I wanted to mark for you guys. And then the other ones I just couldn't mark them all. But this one right here, I like this one. I like how it sets up. I especially like where I marked the ledges in those two spots. Now, one good thing about out here is there's actually something different out here. All these rocks look the same, but this one kind of hangs out all by itself. So this would be like the king castle for the big bass, right? So make sure to check out that rock when you're out there. Then we move up here, we kind of come up the bank line. We're pretty much in mainly just the main river channel here. We come up here, this is going to be a good point, right? It's right off the main river channel. It's got a really good slope to it. You can see here it's pretty darn steep right in there, and some really good rock around there. Some real good shade right in here too. Even if the water was up here, there's still going to be some shade under the water that's created by that ledge. So that's going to be a great place to look. If we pull it at 2022, you'll notice that ledge disappeared. You can't tell that it's there, but it's out here and it's right there, and that's where your primo spot is. So if you were on the boat, like just an average angler, and you weren't paying attention, you'd pull up to this point and you'd be fishing right here, and you'd be fishing literally like your boat would be either sitting on top of where the fish are, or the fish would actually be right behind you, because you're not paying attention to where your contours are. You're not paying attention to where those breaks are. So if you go here to say back to 2013, 2014, you'll now see if we would have put our boat up where that point started, we would have been up here, way high up here, and the fish would have actually been back here behind us. So real important to pay attention to that on this lake. This is a really cool lake. I love all the contours on this lake, but it's, again, something you got to pay attention to if you're fishing it, because you could be fishing in a really good spot and just not even realize it. All right, so you've also got a ton of ramps that are over here. So all of these ramps be submerged. You've got a really good ramp right here as well. That's called the Emerald Boat Ramp. And then as we move up here, we get along here. Again, this is going to be more your premium side, because this is your river channel swing. Coming right through here, you can see you've got some really good rocks all in here in the swing. Just some real good chunk rocks. The problem I had here, I would have marked them for you guys here, is that those just all the same. There's really nothing that's different. The whole bank line is going to be a good bank line. But over here on this side where we're focused, there is a little bit of rock right here. You can see where the rock is starting to get exposed right off the edge of this point. And again, if I were to move the time up and move that up to where it's coming, to where it's 2017 or 2022, that is going to be completely submerged as well. So let's keep moving up here. We've got some more ramps. Obviously, there's a lot of them, but I just marked the key ones for you, the bigger ones. We've also got some more rock that's out here off of this point. So again, if the water's up, you're going to, people are going to put their boat here and be casting here, and the fish are right here, right underneath the boat. We've also got some debris that's right here. This almost looks like it's an old boat. Couldn't tell what it was. I don't think it is, but it has potential to be maybe. We've also got a lay down that's there as well, so you can check that out. And then as we move further up, we've got more ramps. We love those ramps. So lots of different ramps up in here. These actually look decent, be worthy of taking a look at least scanning over and just to see if anything's attracted to them. And then we've also got the magical stairs. That's right. I talked about it on the last video. You can't find stairs very often, but when you do find stairs, I don't know what it is about them, but the bass actually love them. They absolutely love them. So if you can find the stairs, go fish them. Here's some stairs for you right here to go check out. So I'm going to keep moving on up. We've also got some more rock right in here. This one, all this rock just basically from right here to right here looks really good. It's really chunky, but this one in particular that I marked is out all by its lonesome. So that is why I marked that rock, saying that would be a good place to look. We've also got a little bit of a lay down that's back here. Not much, but a little bit of lay down. You can see it sticking out. And I think if we move that up to 2014, you can see a little bit better when that stuff's not all grown up around it. This could be an interesting little pocket to fish, depending on the season, obviously. But then moving down here, we've got some more pipes that are down through here. Let me move this back to 2013 so you can see it. But you can see right there's a whole bunch of pipes, and those things go further out here somewhere. We just can't see them. Definitely follow those pipes, fish around those pipes, see what you can find. Pipes are always a good place to look. Now you've also got some additional rock that's right here. Notice how the bank line's pretty sandy and stuff like that, but then if you get over here, it gets rocky again. Right here, you kind of have like a point just outside of the main lake point. So right in here would be a good place to look. You may even have a little bit of a ledge there or something to fish around too. You've also got a ramp back here to check out that could have some potential. And then moving on up, we're getting into those little flat areas, right? This is a big old giant flat right here. The creek channel swings over here. So not too much to mark for you guys in here, but if they're over here on these flats, they'll suck into these ditches and things like that. There's a really good ditch that's right here. And there's a really good ditch that's right here. So check out those two ditches if you're out there roaming around that area of that inside of that bit. Now, the other place that's always a good place to look is right when you get off the end of a river channel swing. So right where you get off the bluff wall, like at that moment, right when it ends. And so right here in this image that we're looking at, this is a primo image for that to happen. So here's the river channel. It's swinging hard against this side. It was just going to the other side a second ago. Now it's hard against this side. You can tell because see how flat it is up here. There's not a lot up here, a lot of mud. You got solid rock here, solid ledge. So river channel swings, hits right here, right at the very end. If you can find the very end, which would basically be right in here. Right in here is going to be your primo spot. No idea why, but they love to hang out right on the ends of them. So right here, didn't mark it for you, but it's going to be right by that ditch area. That's going to be a good area. And then wherever it ends up here at the top. So we'd have to get way up here and get off to where that ledge pretty much just stops. And this one's really not even that well defined. So it's hard to say, but it's probably somewhere right in here or something like that. But anyways, that other spot though is very easy to see it. And so you definitely would want to mark it. It's probably really easy to see with your depth finders and things like that as well. So then moving up here off this river channel swing, real good point that's right here, real good ledges and rock, all kinds of good stuff. You've got the same thing over here. I probably should have even marked this as a really good point to look at because it just looks great. And then, of course, that whole spot from that dock to that dock, those are deep docks. Those are going to be primo docks. You definitely want to go fish those. Any of these docks and these big swings are going to be really good docks. These are good docks as well. And then let's go ahead and finish our video here. We will start our next one right here at this marina, whatever marina this is. I guess it's a no-name marina for me right now because it's not popping up on Google Earth to let me know where I'm at. But we are going to start right here at the Lake Travis Fishing Guide on the next video. And hopefully you guys learned something today. Make sure to go check out our website, simplisticfishing.com. You can get all these waypoints put on a card and then import those into your graph. Until next time, hope you catch your BB. Take it easy.